Welcome to my first live stream. Thanks for showing up, all two of you. It's awesome. Um, so please give me some grace and thank you for your patience in advance while I try to figure this out. Pineapples. No, no pineapple game today. I started this live stream because I wanted to introduce myself and talk about my experience um, with childcare. And I can hear the feedback. I can hear me talking, so that's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on. I bought this microphone, and I don't really know how to use it. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Okay, so as some of you may know, struggle streaming already. Yup, thank you. I know you can hear me. I just hear my voice delayed and it's driving me nuts. I'm just gonna take these out. I don't need to hear myself twice. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit about my experience. I have been a nanny for 10 years. Um, I've worked with 6 different families. It's a little low. Here, Drew. Okay. Is that good? Better? So sorry. It's okay for me. All right, I'll take that. So, work with 6 different families. So, I have a, a pretty good plethora of experience working with different cultures and in different environments, working with divorced families, couples together, um, families that had the entire 3 generations all living in the same household, aunts, uncles, grandmother, great grandparents, the kids. It was a lot. So I have a lot of experience with young children, newborn, and toddlers. Put the mic closer to me. Gotcha. Um, so so my main so sorry guys. I just feel so nervous. I thank you so much for coming. I see you coming in. There's 7 people here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting me. Um, just gotta shout you guys out right now. Um, I really appreciate it. Cause yeah, let's go. I'm nervous, but we're just gonna get through it. It's first time for everything. Um, yeah, I mostly have experience with newborns and toddlers. That's my niche. That's I know about teaching humans how to figure out those first years of life and how to manage behavior and regulate their emotions. That's that's my expertise. That's what I have formal training in, and that's my passion. I don't really know a lot about older kids. I have worked with them. Not my interest, not my cup of tea. So if you do have older children and you're looking for some advice or have some questions about them, I probably can't help you, but I can empathize and feel free to vent to me about any of your troubles in this space, because I've probably been there too. Uh, yeah, yeah. So that's a little bit about me. And I'm curious, do any of you have children? Do any of you have any interest in kids? I know some of you are here from the lead attorney's channel, the manosphere, which this is not that. uh, I'm hoping this will be a lot more wholesome, child-oriented, child-focused. Everyone put lead in the chat, yeah. His my favorite all-time quote from the lead attorney is I won't I won't say it clearly, but it's F these kids. Yeah. And I understand that, but it's not what we're about over here. How do you get certified to be a nanny? I believe there is nanny certification courses you can take. I've never taken them, but when I say that I am a certified nanny, it's because of my work experience, and it's just to incorporate the fact that I was a certified preschool teacher, so I actually had that formal training and got that certification through my time working at a nature school here in Boston, which is really interesting because we were outside all day through all the seasons, and these kids were a different breed, you know, because they loved it. They were built to be adaptable and really embrace all that nature has to offer. You know, it was just an incredible experience. If the pay was better, I would have stayed, honestly. But I love being a nanny. So I'm CPR and first aid certified as well, and those are my qualifications. Yeah. Cash App, yes. Oh, well, if you would like to support the channel, support me on my YouTube journey, I will add my Cash App and Venmo in the description below. Feel free, but do not feel like you need to spend your money on me. I am just happy that you guys are here. Thank you so much. And I will pin that in the chat. That is also the same user for my Venmo account. If you are interested, please do not feel like you need to. But it would, of course, be very appreciated. Nanny Nightmare. Nanny Nightmare. Yes, I have plenty of those. I would literally have nightmares of my experiences at work. Because, yes, so Venmo and Cash App, it's the same username. That's pinned in the comment. Yeah, thank you so much. I will share a nanny nightmare story with you. I found out that my boss was cheating on her husband, and she was using one of her children, her oldest son, as like a cover-up. I'm not going to name any names, I'm not going to give any details like that, but the first time I started noticing that something was up, he would bring her home from work often, and they spent a lot of time in the car together, you know, just like waiting on, and I'm like, you know, it's the end of my shift, I'm like, all right, can we get a move on? But they're like taking too long, and you know, whatever. Yeah, so that was a little sus. Dad was working constantly. I mean, he was, as the mom would describe, an absent father, and I almost never saw him. I know there were cameras all around the house, so I could see when the blue light would come on and he would check in, but other than that, there was like zero interaction between us. He wasn't there for the son's birthday party. I was, Mom was, and so was Mom's boyfriend. I mean, coworker. Um, yeah. And that was an interesting time. That was like the clarification for me that something was up because she told me to watch the kids. We were at a trampoline park and I was watching the kids. She left. They all left. Hello, hi Kaylee. Thank you so much for coming. I see you. You're so beautiful. I like your content. You should check out her channel too. She's similar content creation. Yeah. And she's a part-time nanny. Let's go. All right. So, okay, back to the story. We are at the trampoline park at her son's birthday party. Dad is not there, but work husband is. And they disappear for at least 40 minutes to an hour. I don't want to stretch it, but it was a good amount of time. Well, where were you? Okay. So they come back, and I could just see it on her face, pretty flushed. Her hair was a mess. And I mean, I don't know how you could justify it being anything other than infidelity. So, yeah, that was tough. A tough situation. Obviously, I didn't bring it up. I was not going to tell her husband. She was, paying me. She, I was on her payroll, okay? So, technically, none of my business. But, he wasn't there. So, even if I wanted to, what was I supposed to do? He wasn't there. So, fast forward to the oldest son's first driving lesson. I took him out in my car because, I was reckless back then. So I was teaching him how to drive, and that was terrifying. But that was like the first time I was one-on-one with him because he had two younger sisters, and we were all together, and there was just always like a lot going on. So this was my first time like one-on-one with him. So I asked him about this guy because I was curious. I wanted to hear it from him, and he told me. He was like, "Yeah, there's something going on there." My mom brings me over to his house sometimes, and I hate going there. She says she tells my dad that he's tutoring me, but I don't. I bring my PC and I just play because I hate him, which understandably so. It's a tough situation. Guess what car he drives? He drove a Porsche, so if that tells you anything. Yeah, it's a sad situation. She also initiated divorce with her husband, so it's unfortunate. I had to be there for the children during that time and just kind of console them, and it was tough on them. Definitely tough on them. I don't have contact with the family now. Understandably, they're older, so it would have been weird if I kept contact, But yeah, I think that was like the worst situation to be in. Yeah. Oh wow. I got a Venmo. Hold on, Face ID. Goodness. Also, apologize in advance. I have a very old chair. Super squeaky. I got a $20 Venmo from Laverne. Thank you so much. He says, "Congrats on starting your channel." Thank you. Thank you so much. It took me a while. You know when I bought this microphone? I bought this microphone because I wanted to start content back in like 2021. And this is my first time ever using it. So it's come a long way. Yeah, thank you guys. I can't really see your chats. They don't pop up on the screen. I'm so glad that I can do live streams now on my iPad because my laptop is broken. That's why I haven't done it sooner. Yeah. Yeah. Dang, thought it would be a Prius. No, no, no. The work husband, he's always got to have money, you know, he's got to have something. But I think it's a douchey car. Maybe I'm biased. Because they're so conscious and scared to leave their kids with strangers. Okay, I'm gonna read this question out loud. Because people are so cautious and scared of leaving their kids with strangers, what are warning signs you should look for before hiring a nanny? And should you go through a service? That's a great question, the Little Gaming Channel. I remember seeing you on Leeds live stream. So thank you so much for being here and showing your support. Really appreciate it. Very good question. First I would say definitely go through a service because they're gonna do most of the work for you. You have to pay for that service, of course, but I think it's the best approach. It's the best approach because I have only worked through a nanny agency once with my current family, and you know, it just shows firsthand that you're serious about whose hands you're leaving your children in, and nannies are going to respect that. Also, if a nanny is seeking out an agency and wants to be represented by them, that also shows professionalism as well. They do the background checks for you, so you don't have to. And I think that's kind of that's probably a lengthy process. And you know, they have the experience and they know what to look out for. They know if someone sounds sketchy or if something sounds ingenuine. So they can handle that part for you. I think that's very important. I've worked for families that didn't even ask for references. And that's just, that's crazy to me. That's literally leaving your child with a stranger with no one to vouch for them. That's yikes, yikes, yikes. Pause. No, that's a lie. That's a lie what I just said. Because I was recommended by my previous boyfriend's boss. She knew that I was a nanny. She had a friend that was looking for a nanny, and she recommended me because she knew that I was in that field. But that woman is, whoa, she's got some dirty laundry. You guys want to hear another story? I will share a terrible story about that after I answer this question fully. So, yeah, warning signs to look for when hiring a nanny. I would say any signs of aggression and just ignorance to where the child is developmentally. You want to make sure that they have experience with that age group and have a lot of patience, like more than necessary, more than you would think necessary. I would definitely put cameras all over your house as well. I don't think the family I work for has done that. It's in my contract that they do not, but I would always suspect and just behave as if I'm being watched, just in case. But I think that just makes sense because you never know. Even after all of those precautions and background checks and, you know, you never know. Some people shake their own kids and do terrible things to their own children from, you know, the heat of the moment, just being overwhelmed, exhausted, tired. So, yeah. Always behave as if there are cameras. Yes, yes. It'll come naturally over time. The longer you work in those environments. Yeah. And, I mean, cameras are everywhere, even outside, so it just is what it is. That's how everyone should behave. But yeah. Yeah. Let me check out the chat again. See. Yeah, show some love, guys. Get the likes up. There's a whole 13 of us, 15 watching, and I got 9 likes. Come on, show some love. Just a little tap. A little tap right there. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Do you guys have any other questions? Are any of you childless but want to have children someday and have some hang-ups? Like, what are your thoughts about having children if you don't have any right now? Because I don't have kids. I think about them all the time. That sounds weird out of context, but hey, look at who it is. Hey, it's me. Hello. Hi. Just waiting for the right woman. Yes, you have to choose your partners wisely. Do not be hasty in that, because we know, especially if we are from the manosphere and we've listened to that content, that women can destroy our lives after having your children. So, and the court system is in favor of them doing that. So yeah, definitely choose wisely. Choose someone who wants to be married and doesn't believe in divorce. Wants to prioritize the well-being of children. Yes. Just liked and subbed. Thank you, Jeffrey. And welcome. Wrong partner equals 18 years of child support plus custody battles, heated co-parenting. Yes, 100%. I lived that experience. I saw that with my own parents, and it wasn't fun being in the middle of that. I don't think that was beneficial to my development as a child. It definitely showed me what I don't want. I guess, that was helpful in a way. Manosphere, I disagree with a lot of that. Please do share. Please do share what you disagree with the manosphere. I know it's a very wide, ambiguous space. There's a lot to it. So, yeah. In your contract. Yes, it's in my contract that the only cameras that they do have are the baby's monitor for his crib, which is pretty high tech. I mean, they went all out for this baby. Yeah, so they have that's exactly what was in my contract. That was the only camera, and they were not going to record me, and they respect my privacy and all. And honestly, I wouldn't put that in a nanny contract if I was a parent. Respectfully, I don't care about your privacy if you're taking care of my child. You can use the bathroom in private, obviously your body is your own, but when you're caring for someone else's child, you need to be watched. You need to be watched. Honestly, even with your own children sometimes, because I feel like people go harder on their own kids, and they're less tolerant and more likely to act out of anger and such. It's just easier. Like, it's my kid. He should know better. But, yeah. Nannies should be watched. How did you get in the business? I just saw that. Not by choice. Lead! Everyone put lead in the chat right now. Put lead. Lead. Okay? Thank you so much. Good to see you. Um, yes, so I got into this industry not by choice, really. It just came naturally. Yes, yes, put lead in the chat. Lead in the chat. Oh, my boy Brado's here. Everyone put Brado in the chat. Oh my goodness. That is my boy. Good friend of mine. We will collab at some point or another, and you will see why he is amazing. Thank you. Um, yeah, yeah, so awesome. Thank you guys. Yup. Yeah. Shout out to Laverne. Yes, Laverne is great. Such a great supporter. You have given me too much money already. Stop it. Keep it coming. Thank you. No. All right. Um, yes, so I didn't have friends as a teenager, so I spent a lot of time with my stepsister. And that's what got me into this industry, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. That's how I got started. I didn't want to go home and be alone every day, so I would pick her up from daycare and I would cook her dinner and I'd help her with her homework. She was terrible at math, and so was I. um, yeah, I'd help her put her to bed and stuff, and yeah, and I fell in love with that experience. It was fun. It gave me that responsibility. That's what honestly made that time meaningful. That's what made my life meaningful, because I didn't have anything else going on. I was such a boring kid. Um, but I liked hanging around kids, and they liked hanging around me. So it was easy. And once I left home, I started going to college. I just kept it going. Yeah, just kept it going. It works for me. And as I gain that experience, I keep making more money. Yeah, so that's a great incentive. Um, and that's that. Plain and simple. I am in a good spot right now. You were a loner? Yes, I was a loner. I had such poor social skills. I think I learned a lot from kids because some of them can be so open and honest and kind. So I learned a lot from them. And yeah, yeah. I don't seem like a loner now, but I still kind of am. Hmm. See, people are rolling in. 26, 25 people watching. Thank you so much. You guys are great. I don't think I'm that interesting, but if you do, I respect it. Your feelings are valid. Have you had any really bad kids? Yes. That was probably the um, shortest job I had, because they were so mean. It was a 6-year-old boy and a 3-year-old. I mean, the 3-year-old, he was a baby, toddler, didn't know much. And this was mid pandemic. So this was a 6-year-old boy experiencing first grade from a screen. So I understand his rage. Um, he should have been running around. He should have been, having a different experience. It was unfortunate. And his parents were sleeping in separate bedrooms. And his dad had an anger issue problem. And so did that boy. So that was not fun for me. Not fun for me at all. I don't like anger. I don't like rage. I know it just kind of comes with the territory of young boys. So that was probably the worst time. He was also very sweet and extremely literate. So he would use his words for violence sometimes, and he knew how. Um, and it just blew my mind sometimes. One time, I told him that he couldn't do something because it wasn't appropriate for the time, whatever. I don't remember exactly the context. And he told me, then I'm just gonna kill myself. Okay? That's what this 6-year-old boy told me. I was like, why would you say that? Who taught you that? I'm ill-equipped to deal with this right now. I told his dad, and you know what his dad told me? He was like, oh, he just does that sometimes. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And the 3-year-old was right there listening to the conversation. I was like, oh, we're just gonna let him listen in on this crazy topic. And he's like, oh, he's just a baby, he doesn't know, he's not listening. Like, this is a 3-year-old boy, he knows what's going on. You're just doing a terrible job as a parent. And that's my notice. I wrote my letter that day. Yeah, it's not that bad, but it was pretty bad. These kids, man. Don't teach your kids to think it's okay to use the KMS quote to get what they want. That's just so crazy. I'm sure you can guess what ethnicity this family was. But don't make that assumption, because that would make you racist. Yes. Have you ever come across a case of neglect that you reported? Not that I reported. I would not have the balls to do that. In the past, have I seen cases of neglect? Yes. Have I experienced it too? Yes. I would rather not go into that. But I will anyways. So, story time. Okay? This is a situation that is separate from me. I have no connection or affiliation with this family. These are stories that came from someone who worked closely with this family as an assistant. And I've talked about this this situation on my YouTube channel in the shorts and on my TikTok, but I will bring it up again because I think this is a case of neglect along with child rape and molestation. I don't know how much I can say on YouTube without getting, marked for something negative, but goodness. It was so messy and gross to hear this as a caretaker, because you try to educate yourself on the warning signs of abuse and neglect and assault. And then when you hear the stories of when these cases happen, you're like, how could the parent be so naive? How could they let this happen under their noses, in their own home? And it's so unfortunate. Could never be me. Could never. She was a neglectful mother, and that's why her son was, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that word because it's so harsh. That poor boy. He was 6 years old at the time when his mother hired an assistant, and he lived in their home, I think in the basement. They had a large home, so I don't know the specifics. Millionaire family. Father was a scientist, doing well. She was a real estate agent, doing well. And oh man, so she should have known, but she learned about her assistant. Obviously they were close. They spent night and day together. and she knew that he was gay, which is not a warning sign in itself, but she also found out that he was molested as a child by relatives, and that is a warning sign. He was also the victim mentality type, so it was always poor me, and I wish I had this, I don't, and the world is out to get me, and I have all of these struggles, and this is a story landing on the ears of someone who grew up in wealth and privilege. So, of course, she felt bad for him. Of course, she sympathized with him. Probably couldn't empathize, but she bought this man a Porsche. Different dude from the other story, but he wanted a white Porsche, and she got it for him. Okay? Look at the warning signs, guys. He wanted a Porsche. A white Porsche. Okay? It's still registered under his name. And she's... Okay. Back up. So it's revealed to this 6-year-old boy's friends in his neighborhood that he was raped by this man. So he confides in his neighborhood friends, and they tell their parents. And I don't know the timeline, but some of those friends were also touched inappropriately by the same man. We'll call him Johnny Jailbird for reference. Johnny Jailbird. So Johnny Jailbird was then arrested because the parents of the children, the other children, right? The parents who were doing their job as parents, when they received that information, they involved the authorities. He was persecuted. He was put in jail. That's why he is now Johnny Jailbird. Yep, put Johnny Jailbird in the chat. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That is only for support, and we don't support degeneracy and satanic behavior. So, yeah. During that trial, they requested that the original boy, the boy that he lived with, Johnny Jailbird lived with, and first off, raped. They were going to use him as a witness. The mother, who invited Johnny Jailbird into her home, refused to be involved in the case, and she tried to fight it and set him free. She has experience as a lawyer, so she did everything she could to try and get him free. Okay. She never asked her son what happened. She just assumed that it was BS because Johnny Jailbird told her, woe is me, this is wrong, I did not do this, I'm innocent, the world is out to get me, boo-hoo, I'm a victim. Okay. So she ran with that story, and she never asked her son what happened. Because she was afraid to. That's what she admitted. And for some odd reason, I don't know if it's to this day, but, years after he was put into prison or jail, there is a difference. I assume he's in prison, but we'll just call him Johnny Jailbird because that's his name now. Even while he was in prison, she would call him and talk to him every single day, years after. Like, that's her homeboy. That white Porsche that she got for him, she still drives it. It's under his name. She drives around in a pedophile's car. I hope she doesn't drive her kids in there. That'd be crazy. That'd be so crazy. L as a mom. She was messing with Johnny Jailbird, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's sketchy. Why? It's just, yeah, that's huge wow factor. I couldn't believe my ears when I found out that story. So, remember, this is the same woman that referred me for a nanny position, and I ended up working for that family for a year. When I found out all that information, I told them immediately, and I hope they cut ties. I don't know if they did, but whoa, oh, the world is crazy out there, and it's so hard. It's so hard to know who to trust. But I think if there's like multiple counts against someone for child molestation, you can kind of just not give them the benefit of the doubt and put your children first. I don't know. What would you guys do in that situation? What would you do if your assistant, someone close to you, was put in prison and accused of multiple counts of molestation, child molestation? Do you let your relationship with them get in the way of the clear evidence that's in front of you? Do you take their word over a child's? Oh, we gotta use other words for YouTube. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. It's so hard. You don't know until you're in that situation, I suppose. You don't know how you'd react. Because if you know someone in an intimate way, clearly as she did, then it's hard to make sound judgment. Yeah. It's hard to make sound judgment. We can only hope that we see the warning signs ahead of time before we build an attachment to certain kinds of people. Yeah. Guess that's the best approach. Look out for the warning signs. And I have some videos on that in my shorts. Feel free to take a look if you need that information. Sorry, you're a Christian? Heck no. What do you mean? What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah. Crazy stuff, guys. If you need more content views, drop the link and bring the lead up. You know, I don't know. The hard R is bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I tried to bring the G and say the whole thing softly. Yeah, I'm new here, guys. Sorry. Don't know the language. Sounds like red flags. Oh. Favorite anime. Guys, we're not talking about anime. We're talking about serious things. Goodness. It makes you feel a little sick talking about that stuff. Let's make it a little lighter, guys. Let's talk about something light. If you have any other questions that are a little more lighthearted, I feel like we've talked about a lot of negative things. What's your worst nanny experience? What's the worst story you can think of? Bring lead up. If you can help me figure out how to bring someone into a live chat into the live stream, that'd be great. I don't know how to do that. Oh my goodness. I got another cash app. You guys. Wow. $50 for doing a good job on your first live. Hey, the little gaming channel. Everyone put TLGC in the chat. Thank you so much, the little gaming channel, for your generosity. You are so crazy. Wow. What's more lighthearted than anime? Oh goodness. Anime's pretty dark. It can be pretty dark. I mean, the first anime I ever watched, like real anime from Japan, was Naruto. And that's like a tough story. An orphan. He's got a demon living inside of him. Whole village rejects him. He ends up being their hero in the end. Like, what? It's crazy stuff. My best nanny experience. I could talk about that. I could talk about my best nanny experience because that's fresh in my mind. I am in such a good situation right now. I love it. I'm cozy. All right. Best situation because the family, first off, was planning to have a child for a year, trying to conceive, which is like, that's how they gauge infertility, right? If you have been trying for at least a year and you still haven't conceived, that's what defines infertility. And they were almost there, and then they finally had their first son, right? Such a gift, such a blessing, beautiful. And right, they just set him up. All right, obviously this family is super financially stable, so he has all of his needs met, and his parents are just constantly doing research to be better parents and to know what's going on with their child's development. And that's great. That's a team that I can be on because I do the same thing as a nanny. So that's the best situation. And honestly, they have they're Catholic. They grew up Catholic, and they have those values. So I feel like I'm treated with respect and kindness in the name of the Lord. So that's amazing. Every single Monday, they ask me how my weekend was, and we talk about our weekend. And it's just like such a lighthearted, friendly work relationship. And it's so respectful. That's not an experience I've had before. You know, most of the time it's just like either super professional and there's no overlap. And sometimes people are really mean and tough. Like that's just not the situation for me now. I am so blessed to work for this family. I really like them. Yeah. I think, is that another Venmo? Is that another one? Hold on, Face ID. Oh, Laverne wants to be friends. Sorry, buddy. I'm busy. Oh, hello, Ron. Thanks for coming. Happy Saturday. I don't know who you are. I am already very disappointed with you. Isatao? Is that how you say your name? I'm sorry that you have to go, but, you know, God bless. Peace be with you. Yeah. You ever wanted to date one of your kids' father? Do you mean kids that I've worked with, because I don't have any of my own. I mean, I guess that's obviously what you meant. I'd say absolutely not, because I would never want to be with a married man. I want my own husband. Thank you very much. Um, Class E beats. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Um, yeah. He wants your attention and validation. I don't know what you mean by that. Best educational habits for kids from a nanny perspective. Oh, that's a great question. King Ku, I believe is how you say your name. Great question, and thanks for coming. Best educational habits for kids. So, for reference, I work with small children, infants, and toddlers. So, in those first few years of life, that's when they're absorbing the most information and forming their worldview. Um, so, that's like the most important time to be drilling everything in. And everything is fully formed by 6 years old. 6 to 8 is kind of when. And you can see it in them. They think like they know everything. It's like, I got it all figured out, worldview shaped. Let me tell you something. But, anyways, so from my perspective, I would say music is such an incredible tool. I love to sing, so that's a huge part of my day. And it's also, you can tell even as an adult, it's so easy to memorize something if it's in a melody. Even so for children. That's why there's so many nursery rhymes about, just basic things. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Like, we got it, like we can figure that out. And that's one of like the first milestones for children, the hand clapping and showing facial expressions and happiness, right? Just for an example. Yeah, music is such a great tool. I use it all the time. Even in conversation, if that child is not listening to me and I need them to do something, I will just sing it. And it will surely get their attention. Would you play Tim and Paula for your kids? Yeah, of course. That's great music. That's great music. But mostly educational songs, if not something that's, made up. Something I've used that's fun as a tool, like I'll use my favorite melodies from songs that might not be child appropriate, and I will make a nursery rhyme out of that melody. So that's fun. If you're a creative type, I would highly recommend, because that would surely benefit children. Yes, 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 yes. Let me know when you finish using Juju on me so I can go. Thanks. Ma'am, I don't know what you're going through, but I think I need a mod. I don't know really how to do that. But anyways, moving on. How important do you think it is for children to learn a second language? I think it is crucial. I feel like I am at such a disadvantage in life because I only know English. Or at least I think I do. I know it kind of well. But the best time to learn a language is in childhood. Learn multiple languages in childhood. That's when you can absorb it and retain it, and it's just so much easier to learn at a younger age. Also, even more so if you're learning these different languages from different people. So like if your dad speaks Spanish, your mom speaks French, you only speak to them in those languages. That's why people really do well when they come to school after, speaking a native language at home. Like they they make the distinction. Okay, like I speak Spanish at home and I speak English at school. It's just, it makes the process so much easier for them. And yeah, that's crucial. That's crucial because America is a melting pot. We have so many different cultures and languages here. English is not the most spoken language in the world. It's Mandarin, and then Spanish, and then English. I think those three should be drilled in at a young age for sure, just so you have more opportunities. Well, they have more opportunities in life. I'm gonna add you as a mod lead because I trust you. Managing mod or standard? You give manager vibes, lead. Let's go. And who else? Laverne, hey, you earned it. You guys, hey, I just want to tell you, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being here. All right, you guys are great. All right, another question. I don't know if I can accept super chats, but whoever wants to send me my first super chat on my first live stream, I got something special for you. All right. I don't know what it is, but we'll talk. Okay. Lee, don't moderate. Oh man. I went through severe. Get closer to the mic or turn it up. I'm sorry. Also, turn up your volume too. Just like make sure we're all doing what we can here. I hope that's good. I hope you can hear me clearly. Mr. Peace says, I went through severe trauma as an infant. How do I overcome it? I'm very sorry that this has happened. I don't have a lot of context. I don't know if you want to share more, but I think context would matter in this situation, but also any kind of trauma from childhood. There's a lot of ways to overcome that. I think it's mainly by addressing it and facing it. Going to therapy is an option. I wouldn't recommend, but it works for some people. There's medications, suppress it, also something I wouldn't recommend. There's the Lord, there's the Holy Bible. That's something I could recommend. That has been helpful for me. I can't speak on things that I haven't benefited from. But a relationship with Jesus, that's something I could talk about. All right. Imani, thanks for being here. I don't recognize your name, but I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for the question. Imani asks, what do you think is the best way to deal with highly sensitive child that is having a hard time detaching from mom when they go to babysitter or school? Okay, great question, because I have a lot of experience with this, so I know I got this. Okay, I got this, guys. Yeah, that's tough. Lot of experience with this, even in the nanny setting, at the preschool I worked at as well. It was on like high for sure. A bunch of kids just freaking out at the same time at pickup, and drop off. It's tough. Just, I don't want to say F their feelings, but like, evaluate the situation. Try to understand why they might have that separation anxiety, because that's what it is. And make sure it's not because they don't feel safe with the person you're handing them off to. That's not always the case, but it could be. Just make sure it isn't. Do what you can. Use your discernment. And also, it's so normal. It's so normal. There's definitely a way to gradually get that habit to dissolve. It's just going to take some time and consistency. So it's all on you. It's all on you. 100% on you, and you need to work with the babysitter or the teachers at school to help you. So you hand them off, it's like, okay, and you make a routine out of your goodbye with them. And sorry, I got distracted. You make a routine. So it could be like a hug and a kiss, or a fist bump and a wave. Whatever it is. Two things usually works well. It's like, okay, bye, and, and I'm gonna go now. And you need to detach. Best way is to like hand them off to somebody, and you don't look back, you just go. Just, you said bye, you have to make sure that your bye means something, because if you're lingering around, you're causing more anxiety. So just go. Mean what you say. Uh, that's the best way to do it, and it's going to be hard. I'm not going to say that it's not. Seeing your child screaming and having a tantrum as you're leaving them, that's oof. Oh my goodness. Oh, poor little baby. But they'll be fine, and you'll come back. You know that you'll come back, and the person you leave them with should also tell them and reassure them that they'll be back, that you'll be back, and that they're safe. Okay. And that's it. That's it. It's so simple. It's just the emotional aspect and the consistency that makes it hard. No one wants to see their child in distress, but yeah, it's just part of it. It's part of it. Imagine like a 15-year-old child like having the same kind of reaction. No, nip it in the bud early, okay? Don't drag it out. Alright, I am trying to keep up here. Sorry. Let's see. I'm the one that put her on the track. Yeah. Alright, lead. Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you for putting me on track. Alright. You did good for your first live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, another, wow, two more cash apps. One from Classic E. Hey, thank you so much. $20 from Classic E. He says, keep pushing and stay consistent. You got this. Huh. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are great. And Gaston's World. Is that how you say it? Gaston? Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. Welcome to YouTube. Yes. Thank you. Happy to be here. All right. Wow. Write your Cash App in the chat. Click on your comment of the Cash App and click pin comment. I thought I did that. I thought I pinned it. Laverne did it, so I will pin that as well. And my Venmo is the same username if you care to make a donation. But please don't feel like you have to. I already feel overwhelmed and feel like it's too much, but I'm very grateful, very grateful. Ben says she got more people watching than when TLA first started live streaming a few years ago. Well. Look what we have here. Oh, that's funny. Thank you. That shows, wow, you've been riding with TLA for a while, so that's awesome. And thanks for coming over. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And thank you, Kaylee, for coming over. I saw your comment, and I was like, oh. And then I checked your channel, and I was like, wow, she's making content too. This is good. I like this. She's beautiful. Jealous. Um, and wow, yeah, go check out her channel as well. Show support, show love. Send a cash app if you're feeling generous. As clearly you guys are feeling generous today. uh, This is great. All right. Well, it's been about an hour. That seems solid for first time. And if you guys don't have any more questions for me, I I will let you go on about your day. And really, thank you so much for coming out and showing support. Uh, this is so weird, but yeah, you guys are awesome. I hope you have a great night, a great weekend. If you were thinking of not going to church tomorrow morning, just rethink that. You know, you can just search your local Christian non-denominational church, or if you have a denomination, just do your thing. Um, Connect with God. Connect with God. Connect with your community as well. That is also connecting with God. That's a great experience. Highly recommend. Yeah. Thank you.